we're Section 2, Team 9, and we're here representing Metalumen. And so when we began our journey, we began with a lot of research. So Monday night, what we did is we went on our laptops and we did a lot of research on online articles, industry reports, anything that we could find. And so when we formulated our initial problem statement, things that we saw that reoccurred were succession problems, or maybe managing growth and managing their human capital through this extreme growth period. And so those are the kind of things we focused on in our initial problem statement. And we really thought that their competitive advantage was the fact that they offered LED lights. And so the next morning when Alyssa and Raghav had the call with Martin, we learned a lot of key insights. So first, he told us that actually LED lights were becoming commoditized, and so through that we incorporated a new problem statement, and then we revised it, and through additional research we called competitors, our sales agents, and then we decided that the actual problem statement was the fact that they had a project-based business model, and this was causing demand fluctuations, problems in talent acquisition and retention, and keeping up with innovation. And then so we went forward with our pitch and we got really valuable feedback watching our peers and from the judges.
So then moving on, I guess it was Wednesday night, we were challenged with coming up with 7 different solutions. And the idea with this was to be really broad and not to be focused on feasibility, but kind of just go for some really far out options and see what we could come up with. So thinking about long tail opportunities and what would be disrupting the industry. And then based on that, we narrowed it down to 3 different ideas and went into a feedback call with Martin, where he very clearly directed us towards IoT and how that can be integrated into the lighting systems that Metalumen makes, and the kinds of opportunities that are available there with data analytics and collection, which was really exciting for us to pursue. From there, we solidified a solution and decided to go into specifically the retail industry, because they're not really in that industry yet and there's lots of opportunities. So we decided to build a prototype, which you'll hear about in a bit. And we spoke to multiple different stakeholders, including people who actually work at some of these industries where it could be used, and user experience based on the iPad app that we created. And finally, we came up with our final prototypes, and here it is. Enjoy.
So here's our new app, Metalumen Plus. The user would log in, and they'd come to our user interface, which has a number of applications that our IoT lighting can provide for them. Today we're going to specifically go through the heat map. So the heat map essentially shows you where people in the store are, and this is done by the IoT lighting system that's actually in the store. So we see the customers, who will be represented in black, and then the employees, which will be represented in red. And this information will allow Zara's associates and managers to make more informed decisions about the retail location. So this is the first example of what they can do with this heat map. The heat map will show you potential sale locations would be best. This could be dependent on whether there's low traffic in those areas, for example, or perhaps there's lots of traffic and we want to increase sales in that area. The second function is to show the most typical traveled path that a customer goes through, and we can even identify the most typical traveled paths that end with a checkout lane. What this means is Zara can optimize for which paths they should direct customers to that would provide the most revenue for them. And lastly, this shows Zara where there's clumps of customers that are being unattended to. This is really important because we want, as Zara, to provide the best customer experience possible to our consumers. And so this IoT lighting can let Zara know where there's a lack of staff for specific consumers, which can help improve customer experience. So we hope you enjoy our prototype.